Welcome back to another episode of 0 to 60, and this is a pretty big deal, this one. This isn't a YouTube gimmick, this is a business thing, and I'm really excited because we are, yes, we've got Dan here, now TurboLamik Australia. This has come about because of, well, we started playing with these transmissions in January, and hopefully you guys have followed along. There are a couple of playlists, what I will link below, where we fitted these TurboLamiks to cars on the channel, but then Dan got involved, it was a month ago?
Yeah.
Month ago? I had to twist his arm to put one in his M3. Now that twisting come about because it had experience with another transmission controller that he wasn't overly ecstatic with, and he was a bit nervous about the TurboLamik. But now, what are your thoughts?
I'm sold. I love them.
He's so sold, he's gone and bought another 10 of them. Yes, basically this come about, I think we were talking about it on the way back from the drift track. Like, we need to stock these, more people need these in their cars. And yeah, we started to put a plan into place. And we want to do it properly. We don't want to be half-assed with this. We want to make sure that if we've got these parts available, if we're offering them for sale, that we've got them in stock, we can help people who've got any questions and help them get the cars sorted, running. Just make it an easy process, because swapping a late model transmission, which is full of electronics, into something like a 180SX isn't straightforward, but it can be. Yeah, so probably about 3 weeks ago, we got onto Lucas and Dawid from TurboLamik, told them what our plan was, and they kind of liked that we want to do things properly, do it like a proper business, and yeah, not just take people's money and then place orders and all that sort of stuff. And they agreed to help us out with basically allowing us to do big stock orders like this, which we thought were going to last a long time.
Not the case.
No. And another reason that this video has been a bit delayed, because Dan has a real shop with real customers coming in fact, there's quite a few exciting cars here as we speak. How many of these are left?
Two.
So all of these, and they're all full. These are all TurboLamik kits. And Dan has just sold them all. But we've got more coming. We have more on order. And if you want to actually place an order for one, I'll get out of the way now. I'll put in an email below. We want to have a website set up, but websites take time, and we haven't had a man that's been able to do it yet. But we will be able to do it, so you can just place an order on a website, get everything covered, and we can just post the kit straight out to you. But in the meantime, if you've got any questions, if you want to know if you can put one in your BA Falcon, hit me up on the email below and I'll talk you through it. But Dan, TurboLamik, TCUs, 8 HPs, you put one in your E46 drift car.
Yep. Just
give the guys a quick rundown on why you like it so much.
Look, it's easy to use, and the best part of it is it works. The other transmission controller I was using, very hit and miss. It would work sometimes, it just wouldn't work all the time. So with these, they work. They work, and you know, I proper stress test my cars. You guys might have seen, and it hasn't skipped a beat. And I think it would be, well, I definitely did think that having this here to purchase from someone you can contact in real time, that's not overseas, that can help you set it up, run you through any questions, and supply any parts that you need, run you through wiring diagrams, all that sort of stuff, would be beneficial for the people here in Australia. So I figured, let's get them in and start helping people modify their cars.
And yeah, it's kind of, it shouldn't be as simple as it is. Just before I said it's not straightforward putting an electronic transmission in an older vehicle, but I've managed to do it, and I'm not a mechanic. Did 3 in my own cars, and then we did Dan's, and it is relatively straightforward with some help from the guys in Poland, but we want to be able to offer that help direct to you Aussies, so you can get onto us during business hours, get things sorted, or after hours, whatever. But we'd also kind of like to have a system where we can send one of these out to you pre-programmed. You just plug it in, do your modifications for the wiring, and then the car will just work, which, to be honest, is kind of what it does anyway. In fact, that's what happened with your car, isn't it?
Yeah.
Dan's was the first car I did that wasn't a factory ECU. His car's running on a Haltech with his N54. I probably spent about 5 minutes changing a few settings in the base map for the TurboLamik. We started up at the Auto Electrics and drove it onto the trailer.
Drove it onto the trailer. So yeah, ideally they should, hopefully, we'll bench set them up for your application when you order it. So it should plug in and work. And yeah, if you've got any issues, you can make a phone call or send an email.
Sounds easy, doesn't it? Right, so I want to give everyone a quick rundown on how these things work. So we have the brain of the install here, which is the TurboLamik TCU, or Transmission Control Unit. Now this is the bit that controls everything. Now, unlike a factory 8 HP gearbox that has the TCU in the gearbox, this is now external, and you can mount it obviously anywhere in the car, but you need to directly link this to all of the solenoids. The way that we think is the best way to do it is using these PCB boards. These go in the mechatronics unit, and you basically just quickly solder them in. And I say quickly, if you do it properly, and we learnt a trick the last time I did them, it is relatively quick to solder it in, and it gives the TCU a direct connection to the sensors in the gearbox and the solenoids. And unlike the DCTs, the 8 HPs electronically are actually a little bit more simple. They only have a couple of sensors, and they don't have to do a lot of the load calculations that the DCTs do. And it's another reason why I think these are just a lot more reliable, and it just works. It's literally just input speed versus output speed and an oil temperature sensor, and it calculates everything. Now, Lucas from TurboLamik, he's been doing these, I think 2014 or 2015 was the first time he got one in an 8 HP. He has been developing the software the whole time. So the version that I got in January, there's been 4 major updates, and we got an update last week where we now have a creep function. So they're actually ready to go and start competing at drag racing. So you've got your trans brake, you've got your creep. Now there's another new feature coming where, well, I say coming, there's talk of it coming, which means it'll come eventually. There's going to be an option to have a custom torque converter that reduces the weight, it gets rid of the torque converter, and increases the motorsport feel of these transmissions. Now, I don't think you could get them shifting any faster, but apparently you can. One thing that TurboLamik has been lacking is downshift blips. Yeah, believe it or not, they don't have downshift blips. Did you notice that as an issue in your car?
Not as an issue, but I'm sure in some application it would be nice to have it, so I think that feature's coming soon too.
That's also coming as well. There's just 2 things I really wanted to mention, and something I really do like about Lucas from TurboLamik. He's always working on his product. He hasn't just built it and forgotten about it. He trying to make it the best thing it can be. But yeah, my experience with him has just been brilliant. I've spent a fair bit of time driving cars enthusiastically with these controllers, and they've got to be the easiest thing to drive. I mainly do roll racing and just sort of straight line acceleration, drag racing type stuff, and the way that it manages misshifts, it just makes you look like a better driver. The gearboxes are brilliant, and speaking of the gearboxes, we've got a few in stock. Damn, why have you got so many gearboxes?
They're pretty hard to find in Australia, so I've had everyone I know in the BMW industry on the lookout for them for us. That way we can offer the whole kit. If you just want to buy just the TCU, by all means, but if you're looking for a gearbox that's already had the solder work done, and you can basically just bolt your adapter plate in, bolt the gearbox in, plug the TCU in, we can supply a made harness, and it will basically be plug and play.
That's what I like. That's what I like. So that average Joes working in the garage can actually get this thing working without too much hassle. Now, we have got a few adapter plates in stock. Unfortunately, they're all going into cars that have... it's already sold. So something else that we do want to be able to do in the near future, Dan does have a CNC machine. It's kind of helpful.
It is a little bit helpful.
And he's just bought a few more tools so that we will be able to pair any gearbox to any engine. We will be able to make the adapter plates. Give us a few days to get it done. But yeah, we want to be able to do the whole thing. Provide everything Australian made, well, apart from this little bit and the gearbox itself. But yeah, all of the CNC work we can do in-house, get it done quickly, and you're not going to be waiting for customs or getting any surprises when it gets to customs, all that sort of stuff. We want to be able to do the whole package. Yeah, dude, give me a quick rundown on the cars that we've got to get these into, because we've got Brett's S15.
Yep, so Brent's 2J S13 was T56 manual, so that's going to get an 8 HP and a motor refresh over the Christmas period. Then we've got Ross's S14, the red one. It's got a SR20 VE in it. Should be a really fun engine package that will rev really high, so that should hopefully put some 8 HPs through their paces, and we can see if we can, for lack of a better word, try break one and see where the limit for that is. We've also got Joey's 33, which will be a predominantly sort of roll racing car with a 3026, and then obviously Brock's 1JS15, which will hopefully be finished up maybe by sort of mid-December and running. and yeah, we can start testing that out as well.
Yeah, so that's 4 cars that are in the workshop right now for these conversions, and then there is more coming as well. More cars that are going to arrive soon. Are they coming before Christmas, the other ones?
I hope not.
Okay, Christmas is coming in quick. But yeah, I will be able to document this, and we're going to put these things through the paces. So some of this is still a bit of an unknown with these 8 HPs, is how high they like to be revved. Ross's S14?
Yep.
Getting tongue-tied here. That motor package looks brilliant. How hard is he going to rev that thing?
Look, it should be able to go to 9.5, give or take. So we'll just keep turning it up once it's run in and making some horsepower, and we'll see where the gearbox stops playing the game.
It's going to be wild. And again, we'll bring you all along for that and hopefully provide a bit more information on people that are doing strange conversions with these things. And I do just want to give a quick shout out to Baytech with his all-wheel drive K-Series swapped RX-7. He finally got it running on the weekend with his TurboLamik TCU. He was only on gate pressure, but he's doing like 2.6 seconds 0 to 100, and I think he did a 5.4 100 to 200, and the thing just looks rapid once he learns a boost up. That's going to be wild. He's also revving that thing to the moon. Dude, these conversions are awesome. Not only do they make the car feel like the fastest straight line thing you can imagine, but it works for drifting.
It does.
And then you just put it into drive and it's a comfortable transmission. Don't forget, these are the same transmissions that are in Rolls Royces. It's weird that you can do so many cool things with them. Hey, and yours even has a clutch pedal.
Mine does have a clutch pedal.
Guys, well, we are now TurboLamik Australia. We have another batch on order and not sold. I think, is there one of these left?
2.
There's 2 left currently. If you want to get your name on it, hit me up in the comments below or shoot an email. I'll put an email down below. Hopefully we'll have the website up in the next week or 2, and I will add the website to the description once it's ready to go. But in the meantime, if you want to get your name on one of the others that are coming, which will probably be about a month before the next stock arrives.
Yeah, 2 to 3 weeks, I think, from date of when we ordered them. So hopefully they're here start of December, mid-December, something like that. Maybe good Christmas presents for some people.
Yes, and actually there are a few people that have emailed me personally over the last few weeks that have said they want to get one. If I don't get back to you and you see this video, just hit me up and I can get your name put back on one of these. Guys, thank you for watching. This is going to be a really exciting thing. We've got there's some really wild cars that Dan wants to do with these conversions, X-Drive stuff. Yeah, I think it's going to be great. Thank you all for watching. Thank you, Dan, for making this all happen. We've got to build some cars.
Yep, let's get to it.
The best run, Dan. Holy shit, you made some smoke. Well done.
Yeah, tyres are getting low, so I thought I'd better finish it before we go in.
Holy crap, that was sick.